Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. It is the Empowered Educator, and I'm back with another powerful message to share with you all on this week. I pray that this video gives you more insight and confirmation about adopting new and more instructional strategies into your classroom spaces. All right. Before we dive in too deep, I highly request that you please give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel for more things all teacher and education related, okay? Empowered Educator LLC specializes in teacher mentorship, coaching, and classroom management training. I am the owner and author of children's coloring books, which you all can check out through my website, which is linked down below in the description box. All right. Also, if you stay tuned until the very end of this video, I'll also have more programs and products to share with all of my viewers today. Okay. So again, I welcome everyone to the channel. Thank you to all of my new subscribers for joining. I am grateful for the ideas and support that we can share amongst each other. Please feel free to share a comment down below if you can make any personal connections to this word, okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into the topic of this video, okay? The topic of this message is to share my top 10 instructional strategies, also known as best practices, to encourage a student-centered approach that will enrich collaborative learning experiences inside of your classroom, okay? If you are someone interested in making school impactful for the learners you're teaching, I highly encourage you to stay tuned to the very end of this video, okay? Drop a connection that you might have down below in the comment section of this video, all right? With that, we're going to go ahead and jump on to the top 10, all right? Starting with number 10. Number 10 is Turn and Talk, okay? Turn and Talk is number 10 on my list because of its generic feature. Just being straight up with you all, okay? We turn and talk, on a regular basis without knowing that we're even doing it. So when students are engaged in this type of instructional discussion activity, the topic of conversation, it can be hit or miss. Turn and Talk is purposeful when discussion prompts are meaningful to the student, when discussion topics are relatable to the learner. However, an overexert use of this instructional technique can become tedious and non-engaging for children who solely use this tool as a means for collaborative learning. So there's nothing personally wrong about this instructional discussion strategy. It's just a generic way of giving students an opportunity to respond to prompts. And honestly, it's just old school. So Turn and Talk comes in as number 10 on my list. Number 9, Think, Pair, Share, Think, Square, Share. Okay, this is number 9 on my list. You know why? Because these are also common forms of class discussion techniques that often occur in the learning space. It is not a particular favorite of mine, but it's an all-inclusive approach to communication in the classroom. The only differences between this technique and Turn and Talk is the fact that thinking time is embedded into the strategy, which is equitable, and students are led to engage with peers of groups of 2. Think, Square, Share will require a group of 4, and then Turn and Talk, there can be a limitless amount. But Think, Pair, Share is common, and number 9 on my list, unfortunately for that reason. It's a bit played out. It's a bit old school. And in new school, we like to try new things, new approaches. Number 8 comes, the jigsaw activity. Jigsaw comes in as number 8 on my collaborative learning list. This is an instructional strategy that I like because of the versatility that comes with it. It is a student-centered approach that requires students to learn from each other rather than from the teacher. And each part that a student plays in Jigsaw is essential to what other kids will get out of it. So there is a high need for retaining and relaying information that's learned here. But if you are a teacher seeking a way to hold your students accountable for their learning as well as what's learned through their peers, I would highly recommend this strategy for your class. Okay. I'm actually looking forward to trying some jigsaw activities and some remixing in my classroom this year. But if you are someone who is an expert in this, tell me more about it. Okay. Have you tried jigsaw? Tell me more about it down in the comment section below. Tell me what this experience specifically was like for elementary learners. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and jump into number 7. Number 7, whip around. Yes, you all, I love whip around. This is fun and engaging. It's one of my favorite ways to wrap up a lesson, sort of like an exit slip, if you will. Most times, I'll have students come close out a lesson with some form of self-reflection on a sticky note and a share aloud and a whip around. Whip around is number 7 because it's different. It's new school. It's a great way to build community and wrap up a great lesson with your kids. So it comes in as number 7 on my top 10 list. Okay. Number 6, right along with that, are community circles. Okay, I recently started becoming more infatuated with this discussion techniques. It's really fun, and the kids really enjoy forming this close-knit space and having something sacred to share between one another. We recite the community circle norms before we jump into the topic of sharing. Which brings about more excitement before getting, the ideas that we want to share off of our hearts. I use a variety of tools as a talking piece, such as a stuffed animal, a microphone, or even a fidget tool that can be sanitized and shared amongst learners. But community circles comes in ranking as number 6 because it's a different approach to collaborative learning, and the kids really enjoy this. Yes, they love this discussion technique. So far, you all, I've given you my, 5 of my top 10 instructional strategies. And I must know, are you enjoying any of these ideas I've shared thus far? If so, tell me more about it in the comments down below, okay? Also, feel free to share what instructional strategies you've used that are your favorite, that I did not mention in this video, okay? And don't forget to also hit that like button if you have not done so already, okay? We're going to go ahead and jump into number 5. Number 5, mix and mingle. Yes, mix and mingle is a Kagan learning strategy that's fun because we get to get some of our vibes. We get to get some vibes, some positive vibes in the learning space, okay? It's a vibe all the time in Classroom 119. It comes as number 5 because, music for me is very therapeutic. It's a fun way to engage in learning and teaching in the classroom. Now, my students, they be thinking I'm some type of crazy because I'll turn on some Party in the USA first thing in the morning to get them energized, to converse in pairs or small groups. Mix and mingle is so diverse. And if you're an educator with big, big energy, okay, then this instructional routine and practice is just for you. I like to go so far as to remix and have students find other partners to share their ideas with, even people they don't know. Music just brings people of all cultures, people of all different diverse groups together. And if there's any way that you can, I definitely recommend you using music, okay? Number 4, whiteboards. Yes, you all, this is also a new school and versatile way of learning. Now, anytime I want to spice up a number talks or wrap up a mini lesson or even launch a new lesson, I'm pulling out the whiteboard, y'all. I'm surprised I didn't make this my number 1, but number 4 is also my favorite number. So, I'm happy either way. But I'm just going to tell you about a lesson my students did with Character Strong, which is an SEL program I'm very fond of. We were telling the difference between big and small conflict, and the lesson told kids to turn and talk about their ideas. But I said, we can turn and talk, but we're gonna spice this up a bit, okay? So what we did, we pulled out them whiteboards, and I had the students practice writing down big or small for each situation that we did, and identify each situation as big or small. But on the last idea, I had students identify whether the problem was big or small and provide an explanation as to why. And when they wrapped that up, they had to find a partner to get face-to-face and back-to-back with to share. Let me tell y'all something, y'all. These kids jumped out of their seats. They were so excited to share their writing with a peer. We remixed one time, high-fived each other, and whipped around to wrap up the lesson. Y'all, the outcome was just so impressive. Each child was engaged and got a meaningful experience utilizing whiteboards to learn with. And I also have other videos where I show you all students utilizing whiteboards inside of my classrooms. But whiteboards is coming in as number 4. Number 3, fishbowl. Fishbowl is so fun, y'all. The kids on the outside of the fishbowl are always so eager to be the ones on the inside. The kids on the inside, when they're tapped out, they're like, dang, I just got in here, But this is a great way for students to work on their speaking and listening skills. And I have not used fishbowl a lot, but when I do, the kids are always excited and look forward to sharing about a topic relatable to them or the content that we're learning about at hand. So fishbowl is coming in as number 3. Number 2, face-to-face, back-to-back, or should I say face-to-face, butt-to-butt, because these kids love to make up their own versions, right? But face-to-face and back-to-back, y'all, this is new to me. I recently learned about it during a professional development training. This tool is great for students who love to talk, but appreciate a signal to let the teacher know their group is done speaking. This discussion technique is fun, yet different and very much new school appropriate. And there are endless ways that you can diversify the learning experience for your students. But face-to-face and back-to-back comes in as number 2 for the high levels of engagement as well as entertainment, okay? And y'all give a drum roll for that number 1. Drum roll for me, please. Number 1, 4 corners. 4 corners is my favorite, my top down, number 1, hands down, instructional strategy for several reasons, okay? Besides the kinesthetic learning, it's diverse, it's engaging, it's fun, and so many more, okay? I just love 4 corners. It's another fun way for students to take charge of their voice and to share amongst others. I've done this through jigsaw, even rotation exercises, and multiple choice answer selections. There's just so much you can do with this type of game to make it meaningful to the learners. But I absolutely love 4 corners. This is another way that I like to spice up a lesson or discussion activities to allow students to use their voice and their bodies to express themselves. In my undergrad, when I was obtaining my bachelor's degree in elementary education, there was a professor that always talked about developmentally responsive teaching techniques, and she said a lesson is not a lesson unless it incorporates talk, movement, and choice. And if you're looking for an instructional strategy that encompasses all of those things, then 4 corners is it. You got to do the 4 corners, okay? And do it in a way that makes sense to you. This is just what's so fun about being a teacher and an educator, is the fact that, we're so diverse. We use our expertise to modify and adapt, different approaches to learning to the kids that we're serving. And if you don't know, I do teach in a trauma-informed school. So we have students that have a diverse span of needs. And a lot of that is developmentally responsive lessons that are culturally responsive, lessons that allow students to learn kinesthetically, visually, through audio. There's just so many different ways that, you can diversify a learning experience. But you all, that is my top 10 list. And I hope that some of these ideas gave you insight about ways or things that you can try inside your classroom starting this week. What are things that have worked for you? What are things that have not worked for you? Let's reflect down in the comments below. And again, you all, I thank you so much for your time. I thank you all so much for just tuning in and also just giving some insight to this message that we are dropping today. You all, I am the Empowered Educator. I thank you all so much for staying tuned, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. You all take care, and I'll see you. Peace. Hey everyone, thank you all so much for staying tuned until the end of this video. You all, it is time. The timing is now. It is time for our classrooms to become places for healing, so that they can become places for learning. And I am here today to advertise to you all to book a session with me, okay? Book a session with me. You all, this is empowerededucator.us. This is my website that is linked down below in the description box. If you are someone who is interested in services from Empowered Educator LLC, here is where you can find the links to make sure that you book a session, okay? It's under the resources tab of Empowered Educator, okay? You can book an education consultation service with me. This is free, 30-minute consultation to address your specific classroom needs and goals for coaching or training. Even if you just want to reach out to me and just have a short conversation, you all get to know each other, meet me in person in real time, I highly encourage you to check out that education service consultation. If you're just someone who's needing needing a confidant, just someone to support you along this education path, whether you are a new teacher coming into this field and to this profession, or even if you're a veteran and you're just looking for ways to sharpen your craft, I highly encourage you to also book peer teaching support. I have 30 minutes available, 1 hour, an hour and a half, and so many more available on this part of the website, okay? But you all, I am the Empowered Educator. I thank you all so much for your time. I hope that you all will book a session with me, and I look forward to meeting you all. Take care, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Peace.